The average human lives about 80 years. That's roughly 4,000 weeks. If you are 20, you have 3,000 left. If you are 30, you have 2,500 left. If you are 40, you're at halftime. We treat our time like it's an infinite resource, a bank account with no bottom. But every Monday morning, the bank deducts a payment that you can never earn back. You are currently standing on a shrinking island in the middle of a vast, indifferent ocean. We spend the first 1,000 weeks just learning how to walk, talk, and fit into the boxes society has built for us. We spend the last 1,000 weeks watching the lights dim, feeling the machinery of our bodies slowly rust and fail. That leaves a tiny precious window in the middle, a few thousand Saturdays where the sun is high and your blood is warm. And yet how do we spend them? We spend them waiting for real life to begin. We wait for the weekend. We wait for the promotion. We wait for the right time to finally be happy. But the clock doesn't care about your plans. It is a relentless, cold, mathematical machine that only knows how to subtract. 4,000. 3,999. 3,998. The terror isn't that life is short. The terror is the silence that follows the question, why am I even here? We scream into the void, demanding a purpose, a sign, a grand design, and usually the void says nothing back. But what if that silence isn't an absence of an answer? What if it's an invitation? While the meaning of life has eluded every philosopher, priest, and scientist since the dawn of consciousness, there are 4 terrifyingly beautiful possibilities. 4 maybes that change the way you look at every single one of your remaining weeks. Let's look at the coldest possibility first. The one that strips away the ego and leaves only the raw, pulsing reality of nature. Maybe you are just a vessel, a highly sophisticated carbon-based piece of hardware designed for one singular clinical task, to carry a genetic save file from the past into the future. Think about the sheer impossibility of your existence. You are the end result of an unbroken chain of survivors that stretches back billions of years. Every single one of your ancestors, from the first single-celled organism to the primate shivering in a cave, managed to survive long enough to pass the torch. They faced ice ages, predators, plagues, and wars. If a single one of them had failed, you wouldn't be standing here. In this view, the meaning of your life isn't found in your career, your art, or your legacy. It's found in your DNA. You are a bridge. You are the universe's way of ensuring that life doesn't blink out in the darkness. There is a strange, dark comfort in this biological nihilism. If your only true purpose is to survive and pass on the code, then the crushing weight of success is a lie. The universe doesn't care if you're a CEO or a janitor. It doesn't care if you have 1 million followers or if you die in total obscurity. As long as you lived, as long as you breathed, you fulfilled the mandate. But if we are just machines, why do we feel the need for more? Why do we write poetry? Why do we stare at sunsets until our eyes ache? Why does a sequence of 4,000 weeks feel like it should be more than just a relay race? Perhaps the answer isn't in what we do, but in what we see. If we accept the biological mandate, we have to confront a harsh reality. Your consciousness, the you that thinks, loves, and suffers, is a secondary feature. In the eyes of evolution, your ego is simply a sophisticated user interface. It's a tool developed by a biological machine to navigate a world of predators and scarcity. We feel like the protagonists of a grand epic, but biology views us as disposable delivery vehicles for a chemical code. This is the tragedy of the ego. We have been given enough intelligence to ask why, but we are governed by instincts that only care about how. Think about the 4,000 weeks math again. If you are merely a vessel for DNA, then most of those weeks are spent performing maintenance on the machine. You eat so the cells can divide. You sleep so the brain can clear its cache. You work so you can afford the calories to continue the cycle. For most of human history, this was enough. Our ancestors didn't have the luxury of existential crises. They were too busy not being eaten. But we live in an era of unprecedented comfort. And that comfort has created a vacuum. When the belly is full and the shelter is warm, the meaning alarm starts going off. We feel a profound sense of missingness. We look at our 4,000 weeks and realize that simply surviving feels like a waste of a miracle. If this first maybe is the only truth, that we are just self-replicating dust, then why do we feel the sublime? Why do you feel a physical ache when you hear a certain piece of music? Why does the vastness of the ocean make you feel both tiny and infinite at the same time? If the only goal is survival, these feelings are over-engineered. They are unnecessary. This suggests that the biological machine is either an incomplete theory or a very beautiful lie. It leads us to a second, more haunting possibility. One that suggests you aren't a machine at all, but a set of eyes. Maybe you aren't here to do anything. Maybe you are here to witness. There is a theory in physics and philosophy that suggests the universe, in its raw state, is unconscious. It is a vast collection of hydrogen, gravity, and time, churning in total darkness. For billions of years, the stars burned, planets collided, and black holes swallowed light. But there was no one there to see it. There was no observer to turn the data into a story. Then, through a series of mathematical miracles, the universe woke up. It grew a nervous system. It grew eyes. It grew you. In this view, you are the sensory organs of the cosmos. You are a localized point of consciousness through which the universe can finally experience its own grandeur. When you taste a piece of fruit, the universe is tasting itself. When you feel the sting of heartbreak, the universe is learning what it feels like to lose a piece of itself. Think about your 4,000 weeks through this lens. Suddenly, the pressure to achieve disappears. You don't need to build a monument or leave a legacy. Your purpose is simply to pay attention. We live in a doing culture. We measure our value by our output. But if you are a cosmic mirror, your value is measured by your input. Every sunset you notice, every conversation you truly hear, every sensation of cold water on your skin, these aren't distractions from your real life. They are the reason the universe bothered to create you. Imagine the universe as a grand art gallery that has been locked in the dark for eons. You are the person who walked in with a flashlight. For a brief 4,000 weeks, you get to illuminate a few paintings. You won't see the whole gallery. You won't even see a fraction of it. But for that tiny window of time, those paintings exist because you are looking at them. The tragedy of modern life is that we spend our weeks staring at our own flashlights rather than the art. We worry about the batteries. We worry about the brand of the light. We worry about how our flashlight looks compared to someone else's. And all the while, the gallery is waiting in the dark. If the maybe is true, that we are the eyes of the universe, then our greatest sin isn't failure, it's distraction. Think about the economy of your 4,000 weeks. Every hour you spend scrolling through the digital noise of other people's lives, every minute you spend in a state of numb, mindless consumption is a minute the universe goes blind. We are the only part of the cosmos that can appreciate the geometry of a leaf or the physics of a star. Yet we spend our limited witnessing time looking at flickering pixels that tell us we aren't enough. The universe didn't wait 13 billion years to wake up inside of you just so you could worry about your status in a social hierarchy. It woke up to see the world. When you are bored, you are betraying the miracle of your own consciousness. Boredom is the feeling of a mirror that has forgotten how to reflect. But being a witness is a heavy burden. It's beautiful, yes, but it's passive. And as humans, we have an evolutionary itch that noticing simply cannot scratch. We aren't just here to look at the art gallery. We feel a desperate, burning need to pick up a brush. Which leads us to the third and most dangerous maybe. Maybe there is no inherent meaning. Maybe the universe isn't a book with a secret message hidden in the text. Maybe the universe is a blank canvas, and we were dropped onto it with a single, limited supply of paint. This is the most terrifying possibility of all, but it's also the most empowering. If life has no pre-installed meaning, then you aren't a servant to a grand design. You aren't a player following a script written by a distant author. You are the architect. We spend our 4,000 weeks searching for our purpose as if it's a hidden treasure buried in the sand. We think, if I just find the right job, the right partner, the right city, then my life will finally mean something. But in the architect's view, meaning isn't something you find. It's something you manufacture. Think about a bridge. A bridge doesn't exist in nature. The universe didn't plan for a bridge to be there. But humans decided that the gap between 2 points needed to be closed. They took raw materials, steel, concrete, sweat, and they forced a meaning onto that space. They created a why out of nothing. Your life is that bridge. If the universe is indifferent, then you are finally free. You can't fail at life because there is no rubric to grade you against. You can't waste your 4,000 weeks because there was no correct way to spend them in the first place. You are the god of your own small corner of chaos. Most people are paralyzed by this freedom. They would rather have a bad purpose handed to them by society than have to invent a good one for themselves. They want the safety of the cage, but you have 4,000 weeks to build whatever you want. If you want to spend 500 weeks becoming the best father in the world, that is a meaning. If you want to spend 1,000 weeks building a business that changes your family's tree, that is a meaning. If you want to spend 20 weeks learning how to play a single song on the piano just because the sound makes you feel alive, that is a meaning. Meaning is the value you choose to assign to your time. It is a human invention, just like music or mathematics. It is our way of protesting against the cold silence of the stars. We say to the universe, "You might be infinite, but I am the one who decides what is important." But here is the catch. The architect is always fighting the clock. As we move past the halftime of our 4,000 weeks, the math of existence starts to feel less like a statistic and more like a ghost. You start to see the bottom of the hourglass. The things you haven't done yet, the places you haven't seen, the words you haven't said, they start to pile up. You realize that you cannot paint everything on the canvas. To choose one meaning is to sacrifice 1,000 others. This is the price of finitude. If we lived forever, nothing would be meaningful. If you had 1,000,000,000 weeks, today wouldn't matter. You could do everything eventually, so doing anything now would be pointless. The only reason your 4,000 weeks have any weight at all is because they are disappearing. The deadline is what creates the value. The fact that you are going to die is the only thing that makes it matter that you are currently alive. But what if the architect isn't you? Maybe the canvas wasn't blank when you arrived. Maybe there's a faint, luminous sketch already traced onto the fabric of reality, and your 4,000 weeks are an invitation to color it in. This is the fourth possibility, the one that has sustained the human spirit for millennia. The divine intent. In this view, the universe isn't a cold accident or a silent gallery. It is a masterpiece in progress, and you were created with a specific shape for a reason. You aren't just a biological machine. You are a participant. Whether you call it God, the Tao, or the Logos, this maybe suggests that meaning isn't something you have to struggle to invent. It is something you discover through alignment. It suggests that there is a deep harmony to the universe, and your restlessness, that feeling that you are meant for something more, is actually your internal compass trying to find north. Think about the sheer complexity of a single human cell, or the way the constants of physics are fine-tuned to allow life to exist. To the believer, the 4,000 weeks isn't a countdown to avoid. It's an assignment. You have been given a specific set of talents, a specific time in history, and a specific circle of people to impact. If this is true, the math of existence changes completely. You are no longer fighting the clock. You are serving a purpose that exists outside of time. Your 4,000 weeks are a small verse in an infinite poem. The pressure to achieve in the eyes of the world falls away, replaced by the responsibility to be faithful to the call. In the divine intent, meaning is found in service. It is found in the moments where you transcend your own ego to act as an instrument for something greater. It's the feeling of rightness when you help someone, when you create beauty, or when you stand for truth. It suggests that while your body is temporary, your impact on the grand choreography is eternal. But this maybe requires the one thing the modern mind finds most difficult: surrender. It asks you to trust that the author of the 4,000 Weeks knows the ending better than the character does. Now we must face the reality that binds all four of these maybes together. Whether you are a biological machine, a cosmic mirror, an infinite architect, or a divine participant, you only have 4,000 weeks. The most painful part of being human is that we have infinite desires but a finite schedule. You can be a world-class musician, or a devoted parent, or a master traveler, or a brilliant scientist. But you cannot be all of them. Every time you say yes to one path, you are effectively murdering 1,000 other versions of yourself. We suffer from the FOMO of the soul. We spend our weeks paralyzed, trying to keep every door open, afraid that if we commit to one meaning, we might miss out on a better one. But a life where all doors are open is a life lived in a hallway. It has no destination. To find meaning, real, bone-deep meaning, you must be willing to sacrifice. You must choose which maybe you are going to bet your life on. 4,000 weeks is not enough time to be everything, but it is exactly enough time to be something. The math of existence is brutal because it forces you to prioritize. It forces you to look at your remaining 2,500, 1,000, or 500 weeks and ask, which of these theories makes me feel the most alive? Which one makes the suffering worth it? And here's the secret that no one wants to tell you. I have given you 4 possibilities. I have shown you the biological, the experiential, the creative, and the divine. I have used the authority of history and the logic of math to try and map out the why of your existence. But as the clock ticks down another second, as another week of your 4,000 is deducted from your balance, there is a final truth you must accept. I don't know the answer, and neither does anyone else. The experts don't know. The philosophers don't know. The billionaires and the saints don't know. We are all just passengers on a rock spinning through the dark, making up stories to keep the cold away. And this is the pivot that changes your life. That is the greatest gift you could ever receive. If the answer was certain, you would be a slave to it. If we knew for a fact that we were just biological machines, we would be depressed. If we knew for a fact we were just divine puppets, we would be bored. The unknowability of life is where your power resides. Because we don't know the meaning, you are free to give your life any meaning. The void isn't a threat, it's a blank check. The 4,000 weeks aren't a cage, they are the boundaries of a playground. The fact that the universe is silent means you get to be the one who speaks. You are 30, and you have 2,500 weeks left. You are 40, and you're at halftime. The whistle has blown. The second half is starting. Stop asking the universe what your purpose is. The universe is waiting for you to tell it. Put down the books. Stop searching the stars. Look at the week in front of you. It's a raw, uncarved block of time. What are you going to build? How are you going to witness? Who are you going to serve? The math is done. The theories are on the table. The clock is indifferent. 4,000 weeks. That is the length of your spark in the dark. That is the total sum of your mornings, your heartbreaks, your triumphs, and your mundane Tuesdays. You can spend them hiding from the truth, or you can spend them weaponizing it. Maybe you are the bloodline of 1 billion survivors, so act like it. Maybe you are the eyes of the cosmos, witnessing a miracle, so look closer. Maybe you are the architect of your own salvation, so build something that lasts. Maybe you are a participant in a divine masterpiece, so play your part with everything you have. The why doesn't matter as much as the now. We spend so much time worrying about whether there is life after death that we forget to check if there is life before it. You are currently in possession of the rarest commodity in the known universe: consciousness. You have the ability to turn thought into matter and seconds into soul. Stop waiting for the right time. The right time was 1,000 weeks ago. The second best time is right now. Go home and hug the people who make your weeks worth counting. Start the project that scares you, because it's the only one that can change you. Look at the moon tonight and remember that you are a piece of the star stuff that became sentient enough to admire it. You are at halftime. Or maybe you're in the fourth quarter. Or maybe the sun is just beginning to rise on your first 1,000. It doesn't matter where you are on the timeline. It only matters that you are on it. The bank is open. The deduction has been made. Another week has been traded for the words you just heard. Was it a fair trade? Only you can decide. The void is silent. The canvas is yours. The clock is ticking. 4,000. 3,999. 3,998. 3,997.